I'm actually quite scared of doing this because it's a blind taste test, and if I'm wrong, you're gonna be like, hey, Urbano, you don't know what you're talking about. Soy sauce, Marca Piña. This is the other condiment probably used by Filipinos aside from perhaps vinegar. Whenever I'm in the grocery store, I'm always wondering like, which is the best soy sauce? Like, which one should I buy? So today we're gonna demystify soy sauce for all of you guys at home. Soy sauce comes from the process basically of brining soybeans. So you mix your soybeans up with salty water, steep them in that, and you get your soy sauce. And it comes in two main varieties. You have light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. And the difference between the two is your dark soy sauce has typically been aged longer, and then it's often mixed with like a bit of molasses or some caramel, thickened with some cornstarch. So it's definitely a thicker, stickier consistency, and it's generally a more richer, more robust flavor as well compared to light soy sauce. As a result, dark soy sauce is typically used for marinating or for cooking where you want to impart quite a strong soy flavor and also add color to your dish. Light soy sauce, on the other hand, is typically a more water-like consistency, much more thin and runny, and it's usually saltier. And in the Philippines, most of the soy sauce being used in Philippine cooking is the light variety. Now, syempre, yung mga Filipino, I noticed just like to buy yung anong sikat na yon or anong may celebrity endorser, that it's often not the best product. Now, I'm not saying you should listen to me, and I'm certainly not a celebrity endorser. I'm like the opposite of a celebrity endorser. You know, konti lang ako mga fan, di ba? But if you want to buy a product based on yung quality niya, at saka yung gaano kasarap siya, and the value for money, well, that's what I'm here to help you with. And we have 4 of the leading national brands for soy sauce here. I don't know which is which, so it's a genuine blind taste. And I have here my mag-iwagang kutsara, which will help me to perform the taste test. I'll start by smelling and looking at the appearance of each. So yung parang looks exactly like soy sauce should. Right texture, consistency, smells like soybeans, salty. Very salty. But, you know, soy sauce is meant to be very salty, but that does actually really taste like soy. The color looks about right for me. Smell is good, so quite happy with that one. Let's go to number 2. This smells maybe a bit earthier. The soy on the nose anyway is not quite as strong. It looks maybe a little darker in color. Let's give this a go. And this tastes sobra na. It doesn't taste quite like soy sauce. I think this has been mixed with something. The salt is there, but it actually doesn't taste as matapang as it probably should. I think it's been cut with something. I'm just gonna put that out there. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm actually quite scared of doing this because it's a blind taste test. And if I'm wrong, you're gonna be like, hey, Urbano, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's try the third one. Similar color to number 2, perhaps, a little on the darker side. Similar consistency. The smell of it doesn't smell too much like soy. And again, it's a sobra na flavor. These two are very similar. Parang punchy, but it's not necessarily a soy and saltiness that I'm getting. It feels a little bit more chemical. So I'm interested to see the ingredient list of these two. They're okay, but I'm just not sure if they're pure. And we'll go to our last one. Probably the darkest of the 4. Looks like a slightly thicker consistency. Smells probably more like soybeans than the other 2 that I just had. Tastes more like soybeans, but probably a little bit less salty than any of the other 3. Pinaka lower salt yun. I didn't get that face, right? It's like very clear which one I found the saltiest just based on the facial reaction. I'm just gonna try number 1 again in comparison to number 4 to see which one I like the most. It would be out of number 1 or number 4 though. I think the one that tastes to me most like how soy sauce should would be number 1. And I think number 4 is actually quite soy. It's slightly lower in salt. And I felt number 2 and 3 don't taste quite like the way soy sauce probably should. Let's find out. So we'll be back with the grand reveal. Okay, so the good news is I think my palate was actually pretty spot on in determining which of these were real soy sauce and which have a lot of halo-halo of different chemicals. Okay, so the one I liked the most, it was Kikkoman, which is a naturally brewed soy sauce. Kikkoman is a leading soy sauce with apparently over 300 years of experience. They're making this locally in the Philippines, but presumably under Kikkoman license and under their quality control. And I'm not overly surprised because when I tasted it, I was like, okay, this looks like soy sauce, it tastes like soy sauce. There's a clear soybean flavor there, and it's quite salty, which is actually what soy sauce should be. So it very much tasted like the real deal. And when I look at the ingredient list here, I'm pleased to see that their ingredients are literally just water, soybeans, and then they have some wheat, which you find in a lot of soy sauce. I think it's a bit of thickening to the product. They do add a bit of salt, and then there's some preservative there, though a lot of packet food has at least one preserving agent, so I'm not too worried about that. I think that's a high quality product from an ingredient standpoint. The taste was by far the best, the most like what real soy sauce should taste like. The second one today was the Datu Puti, and I think when I was trying this, I said this is medyo, it tastes like mixed together with something. I was pretty sure there was MSG in there. I didn't want to come out and say this has chemicals in it. And when I take a look, this one, I can't say a lot good about this product. I mean, the ingredient, obviously water is the first one, but then it has hydrolyzed soybean protein, and I'm like, all right, why don't you use a soybean? Like, come on, right? What do we need to hydrolyze it? Does it need to just be the protein? Like, just use a soybean, guys, come on. Then they've got their salt. It's colored with caramel, so presumably because they're using the soybean protein, they're not getting any natural color into this, so then they have to introduce fake colors. And then they add MSG, so that's why it doesn't really taste like soybean. It tastes more like salt. And flavor enhancer, artificial color. This is not a product I would buy or cook with at home. Basically, it would fail on the quality test. It certainly fails on the taste test. And the only good thing you can say about it is it's cheap, and they probably spent a lot of money on marketing, but I think that's a pretty lousy product. The next one is Marca Piña, and this Calamansi Soy Sauce. So it's interesting, I couldn't really detect the calamansi, like it tasted a bit different, and I said I think there's some halo here. I wouldn't have called out it's calamansi. I mean, certainly if you've made toyomansi, the calamansi is quite a powerful flavoring agent, so it didn't really come through here. I don't know how much they're putting in. Now, when I take a look at the ingredients here, water, soybean extract, iodized salt, caramel, citric acid, calamansi extract, at least they have calamansi extract going into it, so I'm happy to see that. And then you've got MSG in this one as well. And they also put muscovado sugar, which is really interesting. I might actually just taste this again. I feel like I didn't really get the calamansi or the sugar before. It's like, now I know it's there. It's more of a zing, but it's not really like calamansi. It's almost like having a bit of vinegar in your soy almost. But for me, this one, on the quality test, I really don't like, especially a product like soy sauce, which is inherently a flavoring agent on its own. Why do you gotta stick MSG in that? Diba? Yung parang, it's already salty. It's already matapang sa asin. It's already yung panglasa ng soybean. And the only reason to be putting in flavor enhancers at this point is if you're not actually using the soybeans. And that, I think, is the sad case for both of these products. So a little bit surprised, because I really like their vinegar, but I'm a bit disappointed that they're putting MSG into their soy sauce. So guys, if you're watching this brand, please get rid of that. Put some real soybeans in this, and I'll gladly do another taste test of your product if you fix it up a bit. And then over here, yung surprising for me na Silver Swan, because actually I didn't really enjoy their vinegar, but I actually thought the soy was pretty good. This one goes water, soybean extract, bit of flour, salt, and caramel. So very simple ingredient list, no MSG. And I think the absence of putting all the crap in, if I can use that as a technical term, I actually think means that this tastes a lot more like a real soy sauce. This is actually 8 pesos for 200 mils. This one was 9.50 for 220 ml, which I don't think is worth it. The Datu Puti was 8. The Kikkoman 27.50. So again, it comes down to, do you pay for quality ingredient or not? And I guess the challenge for a lot of Filipinos is it's nearly 3 times as expensive. Now, this is a hard one because for me, I think personally, I would definitely prefer to buy the Kikkoman. But I think on a value for money proposition, it's really hard to beat 8 pesos. And because this doesn't contain any chemicals, I'm going to say that my Urbano's choice is actually the Silver Swan soy sauce, and the honorable mention is definitely the Kikkoman. And if you've got the budget for it, I would absolutely recommend buying this. But if I got to cook adobo for a family of 4, I want the one that costs 8 pesos. So well done to Silver Swan. I think these guys, you know, get the chemicals out of your products if you want to get a positive endorsement for me. Not that I'm a celebrity or anything. You guys know about my mission to help Filipinos eat and drink and cook better in the 21st century. You can be a part of that mission with me by visiting maputingcooking.com. Check out all the recipes I do from the show there, and all these vlogs will be uploaded there as well. You can leave a comment below. I'd love if you share this video, and you can follow us at Facebook, of course, where we're doing giveaways all year, different cookware products. You know, you just basically learn how to cook and you get a chance to win free stuff. So who doesn't want to do that? So head over to our Facebook page, you know, like, follow, subscribe, turn on those notification things so you actually hear about it when we release a video. And I love reading your comments. I read everything. Leave one below. Tell us what you'd like us to review next, kung anong product na curious ka, kung anong yung pinaka-best brand, and we'll find out for you with a blind taste test like I've been doing today. So we'll see you guys next time. I'm Chris Urbano, and bye now.